For the love of money is the root of all evil. These words, ancient and heavy with truth, serve as a stark warning. They remind us of a poisonous force that dwells within the human heart, greed. It is a relentless hunger, a thirst that can never be quenched. Avarice, the insatiable desire for more, eats away at the soul, leaving behind a hollow shell of the person one once was. This insatiable appetite for wealth has fueled countless conflicts throughout history. Nations have been brought to their knees, their people enslaved, all for the pursuit of riches. Individuals seduced by the allure of wealth have betrayed their loved ones, abandoned their principles, and sacrificed their very souls at the altar of greed. But the price of greed extends far beyond the tangible costs of war and betrayal. It seeps into the very fabric of society, poisoning relationships, eroding trust, and leaving behind a trail of broken dreams and shattered lives. The pursuit of wealth, when allowed to consume us, transforms us into something monstrous, something we ourselves no longer recognize. We become slaves to our own desires, forever chasing after an illusion of happiness that can never truly be grasped. For true wealth lies not in the abundance of possessions, but in the richness of our relationships, the strength of our communities, and the integrity of our souls. Imagine a world where skyscrapers pierce the heavens, monuments to man's insatiable desire for more. Giant screens flashing with advertisements assault the senses, urging you to buy, to consume, to indulge. The streets teem with people, their faces etched with a mixture of ambition and anxiety. This is a world where money reigns supreme. It is the lifeblood that courses through its veins, the measure of success, the key to power. But behind the glittering facade of wealth and prosperity lies a darker truth. Beneath the surface of this consumerist paradise, a deep and growing chasm divides the haves from the have-nots. The relentless pursuit of profit has created a system where the few accumulate vast fortunes while the many struggle to survive. The air is thick with competition, a suffocating pressure to acquire more, to climb higher, to never be satisfied. Humanity itself has become a commodity, its value measured in dollars and cents. In this world, empathy is a weakness, compassion a liability. The bonds of community are frayed, replaced by a cold and calculating individualism. Loneliness and isolation fester even amidst the teeming crowds. The pursuit of wealth has become a zero-sum game where one person's gain is inevitably another's loss. But it is not just individuals who suffer in this gilded cage of our own making. The planet itself groans under the weight of our insatiable appetites. Resources are plundered, ecosystems ravaged, all in the name of economic growth. The very air we breathe, the water we drink, the land that sustains us, all are sacrificed at the altar of greed. John was a young man from a humble background. He dreamed of a better life, one free from the constraints of poverty. He worked tirelessly, driven by an ambition that burned bright within him. His talents were undeniable, his rise through the ranks meteoric. Success, however, came at a price. The higher John climbed, the more ruthless he became. He sacrificed friendships, neglected his family, and trampled on anyone who stood in his way. The warmth that had once radiated from him was replaced by a cold, calculating demeanor. John had amassed a fortune, but in doing so he had lost something far more valuable, his soul. He had become a prisoner of his own ambition, trapped in a gilded cage of his own making. The money he had so desperately craved had become a curse, a constant reminder of all that he had sacrificed in its pursuit. John's story is not unique. It is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the seductive power of greed. It shows how easily ambition, when unchecked, can morph into something monstrous, something that consumes us from the inside out. The Smith family was once the picture of happiness. They were a tight-knit unit, their home filled with laughter and love. Then the lottery happened. A single winning ticket, a life-altering sum of money, tore their world apart. Old resentments surfaced, fueled by the intoxicating allure of sudden wealth. Siblings turned against one another, their bonds of kinship severed by suspicion and greed. Parents watched in horror as their children, once so close, became strangers, united only by their insatiable desire for more. The money that was supposed to bring them closer together had driven an irreparable wedge between them. Their home, once a sanctuary of love and laughter, became a battleground. the air thick with tension and mistrust. The Smith family's story is a heartbreaking illustration of how greed can poison even the strongest of bonds, turning love into resentment and family into foe. Please like and subscribe.